Video is live. Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
It's your favorite guest slash host slash producer, me.
Yeah, he's back, and shockingly, if you haven't noticed, Maddox Moreland here today.
First time, I think. First time we've done the podcast.
He's always here.
And he's not here.
He's always here. Him and his family are in the mountains.
They're skipping. They're lazy.
And allegedly, you didn't hear it from me, he may or may not have called it a mullet. I don't know.
I didn't hear about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
I got my hair cut, but you guys don't know that because I'm not on camera.
Yeah, he texted me that he got a mullet, so you know.
Oh man,
Y'all might have a good surprise next week. So we're gonna jump right in. The pretty good games for this week, and there's some good ones.
We got a slate, man.
It's not anything crazy, but I'm gonna start off with an honorable mention here, and I'm gonna go Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Now, for me, obviously I'm a Georgia fan. Obviously, I'm gonna be a little biased,
just a wee bit.
But I think Georgia, last home game of the year. I guess it's everybody's last regular season game of the year. But
I think other than maybe Army, because I feel like Army Navy play next week, like in a one-off.
You're right. Okay.
But pretty much
everybody's.
But
anyway, yeah. So it's a home game for Georgia, and obviously it's a real hard place to play, Sanford Stadium. And Georgia Tech is a good team. They've had some upsets this year.
Lost, Haynes King.
Florida State, which turned out not to be that much of an upset seeing them this season, but at the beginning of the year it was, and then they beat. Who'd they beat 2 weeks ago? Look it up.
I'm looking it up. I'm going as fast
sorry,
as I
all
can.
this is killing me. Who did they beat? Miami.
They beat Miami.
Miami's one loss. They've had some upsets. So by traditional Georgia Tech game, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. My prediction was 38-21 Georgia. I feel like that's fair. I feel like Carson Beck has, went from where he was terrible, or from good back to terrible. No, from good to terrible, back to good, a little bit of terrible, and now he's back to good. So I'm hoping for the playoffs he's not back to terrible. But I think he'll have a pretty dominating game. I'm pretty sure Trevor Etienne's back. Colby Young is practicing with the team again, which if you know,
early in the week.
If you know, you know. But yeah. But anyway, I think this is a good game for Georgia, a dominating game for Georgia, and a good statement win to show that they are a top team in the country.
Yeah, I definitely would take Georgia in this one, but that one's good to watch. We also there's a few other honorable mentions, lots of rivalries going on this week. We got the Iron Bowl, Alabama is a great one to check into if you want to watch that. Notre Dame, USC.
Here's my thing with the Iron Bowl.
Walk into.
Auburn always, no matter where it's played, no matter what happens, they could have had a winless season. Shows up against Alabama.
Yeah, that's
it is their Super Bowl.
The Iron Bowl is always worth watching. That's your back channel, maybe, but like it's always good.
Oh, always.
It's always good.
Next one. These aren't honorable mentions anymore. These are our big four for the week.
We got four.
Might be a little bit surprised with our first one. Number 11 Tennessee away at Vandy. And now
we've seen Vandy this year. We've seen the Pavia magic.
I mean, Pavia for Heisman, in my opinion.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. But we've seen a good amount of Vandy football this year, playing really, really good football.
And we've seen Tennessee not always be consistent, not always play the level that
Vandy almost beat a really good Texas team, beat Alabama. I mean,
this one really has potential. Like, we understand Vandy's not ranked, but like they're very solid still. They've had a solid year.
They're tough at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're tough at home.
That crowd's gonna be raring to go, ready to get another top 25 upset.
And I think it's a good game, and a closer game than I think people expect.
Yeah.
My prediction here is 31-20 Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because I think Vandy plays a good game and sticks in with them a little bit. Tennessee's just too high powered though. You know what I mean? Dylan Sampson can run the ball for 160 yards a game directly down the middle. He's probably one of the hardest tackling backs. Like, he is probably one of the hardest backs to tackle in college football. And Nico Depends on the game, but like
he's kind of hit or miss, but he's gonna get better and better. And
he's a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
He is all the everything's in front of him. I think Vandy's a good team, but I don't think they're good enough to handle a very good Tennessee team that beat Bama. So I think it is 31-20 Tennessee.
Yeah, I definitely got Tennessee winning here, but I also think it's going to be a close one there. I don't see Vandy winning, but I think it'll be close. I honestly would put it a little closer. I'm seeing more maybe like a 28-24 like tight
I can
game
see
here.
Next of all, you already know it. Ohio State, Michigan.
We know.
Can't leave it out. No matter how bad Michigan is this year, can't leave it out.
Especially, this is huge for Day. He's lost 3 in a row. Obviously, this looks like a clear win for Ohio State, but he cannot lose this game.
No.
That
would be terrible. That'd be detrimental to
if he loses this game, I think there's serious talks about him not coaching there anymore because if you know how big this is,
Ohio
if you've lived
State,
in the Midwest,
they can win every single game, and if they lose to Michigan, they're not Ryan Day wouldn't be the coach they want because this game is so important.
They would rather lose every game and beat Michigan than win every game and lose to Michigan.
For sure. So don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it is in the horseshoe, right?
I think so.
Because clearly we just saw a really good Indiana team get
pretty waxed.
Yeah.
Google
it. Woo. What was it? 35-18. Really good showing by Ohio State. They look good showing by Ohio State.
38-15.
And seeing how Michigan's played all season,
just over 500, I think.
They're 6-5.
Yeah, just over 500.
So I'm not saying Michigan's a bad football team. They play in second hardest conference of college football, right behind the SEC. And people could even argue this year that it's the toughest conference of college football
because they have the 2 best teams.
But at the same time, those teams aren't playing SEC teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel pretty strongly that if Ohio State rolled into Georgia, they would lose.
Is the Big Ten bigger than the SEC now? I think they might be.
Well, we just got Oklahoma and Texas, too, so maybe not. I don't know.
But I know they just got 4, right? Conference
probably
lines are blurring.
I think they are. But I picked.
That's created a lot of weirdness in conference schedules where you have a lot of really strong teams that don't play each other.
Yeah. My big thing with Michigan is they don't know what to do with their quarterback situation.
Oh, yeah. They're still struggling this far in the year.
They had a dude playing. He was a former walk-on. Seemed like a great guy, but would throw 3 interceptions a game to 1 touchdown. You can't have that ratio. To start at a major powerhouse like Michigan, you can't. But at the same time, if it was in Michigan, I'd say this was a really close game because Michigan always plays well at home, no matter what it is.
They're not playing at home. They're playing at the Horseshoe.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I was saying if it is at Michigan, it would be a lot closer.
Yeah.
But is it? It's at the Ohio State University. And Ohio State's real good. Will Howard threw 80% completion percentage the other day.
He was up there.
Multiple touchdowns. Super accurate. Best backfield in college football. Quinshawn Judkins, Trevion Henderson, really dominant.
So good.
Really dominant. Really good O-line. And I don't know if you watched the Indiana game. 2 new guys.
The lines.
That was the first time that group had ever played together on the O-line due to injuries, and they look great.
They dominated on the line in that game.
And don't even think about you can't even forget about their defense. The amount of pressure on Curtis Rourke all game was ridiculous. JT, whatever, number 44, was in the backfield all the time. Jack Sawyer, they've each had 3 sacks apiece. So what's their safety's name? Caleb
Downs.
Saw him on game day in a segment.
Yeah.
Alabama transfer. Had a great game. Took a punt to the house.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And he's a no-fly zone kind of guy. He can't throw his way.
Oh, yeah.
Great DBs.
Very
great
stout.
linebacker core. Great D-line. Ohio State.
They have all the talent.
It is a hard team to beat this year, and one that I thought should have beaten Oregon, but we're not going to get into that right now.
My prediction is
I hope
Ohio State's going to house them. I think,
hope.
who knows, maybe Michigan sticks with them for a bit in the beginning, but I think Ohio State's just going to take it to the house over and over and over again. I don't think this one's close.
I picked a 41-21 Ohio State.
I don't even think Michigan's going to score that much. They're like,
no, I mean,
they
have a good rushing attack, but maybe not.
I mean, they do, but I just
so we'll
it's
see.
It's going to be a blowout. That's
we'll
my prediction.
see, but I think I don't think Michigan gets within 20. Is my prediction.
Yeah, I can
next
get
game,
behind that.
and in my opinion, one I'm very excited for. We just got late lunch, but we're talking about it the entire time. Which, by the way, top seats are $170. Like highest seats all the way up in the top. That is ridiculous. We need to get ourselves together. But anyway,
bro, if I bought them last time we recorded the podcast, it would have been half the price.
Yeah. It was 60.
And,
it was 60
and for like mid to low seating.
Like good seats. And now the highest seat in the stadium is 170. This game is Clemson, South Carolina. Now, South Carolina is a 3-loss team that I feel like should be maybe a 1-loss team. And you know what that 1 loss should be too? Ole Miss. They got beat by Ole Miss. Bad. I think it was like 28-3. So they deserve to lose to Ole Miss. Because Ole Miss is super hit or miss. They're either great or they're not
hit
good.
Or miss.
But if you've seen Clemson play, they gave LSU a very difficult challenge. LSU beat them on like a last-second field goal, and then Ohio State missed. I mean, not Ohio State. South Carolina missed. Then Alabama, you remember that when went for 2, didn't get it. Onside kick, recovered it, like crazy game.
Yeah,
South Carolina
close, man.
has been in it all year. All the games they've played all year. And Clemson has looked good at times. But you see when they play traditional SEC powerhouses like Georgia, what the final was 34-3.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a season opener.
And Louisville gave them a big gave them a loss.
Louisville came into that game, played amazing. Clemson didn't play their best. Clemson's got to come in and play their best. And obviously, not only is this a huge matchup, but it's also a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of fight here. This is in Death Valley.
You know both those teams want to win so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I just think seeing how well, Lenore Sellers, dominant. Rocket Sanders, dominant. O-line has played great. Dylan Stewart and Kennard, I don't know what his first name is, number 5, Luke Kennard, on both on their defensive tackles or /ends, and they have been in the backfield getting so many sacks, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think South Carolina is like right now one of the teams to beat in the SEC.
Oh, for sure.
I was so relieved.
They're high up
to
in
be
that
like,
contention.
Georgia didn't have to play them this year. Like we got to get UMass this week and not South Carolina.
Yeah.
Because I knew how good South Carolina was.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if Clemson can hang with them.
Yeah, this is something.
This time.
This is something we were talking about just a little bit earlier. But yeah, because the conferences are starting to get so big, you can dodge some of those tougher opponents. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one's really tight. I think Dabo's going to come up with some magic to get out of a tough situation. I do have Clemson winning.
Wow.
But I think it's going to be a one-score difference.
I did I got a little 27-24 South Carolina.
Yeah.
Real close.
My kind of first thought, well, not my first thought because I've been thinking about this, but my kind of if I had to go with a score, that I feel like I got that flip for Clemson, 27-24 for Clemson.
I would be shocked if the game is further apart than a touchdown.
Yeah,
Shocked.
I think it's gonna be a one-score game.
Shocked.
I would be shocked if either of these teams blows the other one out. At most 10 points. This is gonna be a tight.
And I would be shocked
game.
because we already know Clemson's a hard place to play, but we've seen South Carolina play in really hard places to play.
Yeah,
and give a good challenge to
it's new.
Really good teams.
It's not night at Death Valley. Death Valley is still incredibly hard to play at.
Oh yeah,
but it's not night. So definitely a little.
Yeah.
You hear South Carolina, you're thinking that helps.
Yeah, and I think I got South Carolina winning.
Yeah.
Our last game for
arguably the biggest on the slate is.
I can't decide which should be game day.
We can't decide.
But Texas A&M, Battle of Texas, really really big game for both teams. Whoever wins this game goes into the SEC championship against Georgia. So
this is huge.
This is huge. Huge. Texas has looked good, really good.
Obviously,
except for against Georgia.
They look terrible.
I'm not gonna.
They didn't even look terrible.
Georgia
But just looked
I don't
amazing.
know if you knew. Quinn Ewers had to get an MRI on his ankle this week.
I didn't hear about that.
He's questionable. And
That's
for me,
not good.
Arch has been the most consistent backup in the country all season.
He's been amazing.
But I don't know if he's good enough to play against A&M in College Station.
Yeah, is he good enough to lead his team the entire game?
I mean, we'll have to see.
See some of that Manning magic.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, for a redshirt freshman right now, he is so much talent. Once Ewers is gone, I feel like Texas will be the team to beat.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, he is all the intangibles.
I mean, you've talked about or not you, Maddox has talked about him transferring out. He's not going to transfer.
No way.
He's good.
No
He's going
way.
to come right behind Ewers next year.
He'll be a redshirt sophomore, ready to go.
He's going to be good.
But I just think Texas is too much to handle for A&M. We have seen A&M. They're one of those kind of hit or miss teams too.
Yeah. They've been kind of.
They've been a little like they're either great or they're
Yeah.
Because we saw, I know it's a night game in South Carolina, one of the hardest places to play in the SEC. 44-20.
It's a rough showing.
That is a rough.
That's
showing.
not the best showing.
Especially for at the time, ninth best team in the country.
Yeah.
2 losses, 2 or 3 losses. 2 losses.
A&M.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Dame.
3 loss.
Really?
Yeah.
Who they lose to? Notre Dame, South Carolina, LSU. They didn't lose to LSU.
Auburn.
They lost to Auburn this week.
They literally just lost to Auburn,
4
buddy.
overtimes. What a
I know,
game.
dude.
Did you see the dude drop the ball in the end zone?
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
I was like, I
so glad
play
I'm not a
center
fan.
for my high school, and I feel like I would have caught that football. I'm a center.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
so glad
I
I'm
would have
not a
saved
fan.
our team, and I feel strongly A&M would have won that game, but good grief.
Man, yeah. No, that was
seeing that,
incredible.
and seeing
I can't
that-
believe you forgot they lost.
And seeing that makes me feel even better about Auburn Bama. But we don't have to get into that right now. A little bit it's going to be another
But really, if A&M wins,
the
they're
way,
going to play Georgia?
let's go a little flashback right here. I'm pretty sure whoever wins goes to the SEC championship. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on it.
If Texas wins, they will.
If Texas wins, they do. But I think also if A&M wins, they do.
Maybe.
I think. I don't know. Because Alabama's a 3 loss. Ole Miss is out of the playoffs. But I don't think they'd be up there.
Probably. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'm trying to look, kind of.
I mean, I don't know.
I think you're right. If Vandy beats, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Vandy. I hope we play Vandy.
If Vandy was, yeah, I'm sure you do, buddy.
Yeah, right. All right, but my prediction here, 30-20.
Yeah,
Texas.
Yeah. I got Texas on top too. I think it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
1-2 score game.
Especially, no matter how good the A&M team is, College Station is a hard place to play. One of the hardest in the country. Yeah. College football put it at number 1, which is baloney.
Sorry guys, that's not it.
No, that's not even close to being it. I would put LSU above them, the Swamp above them. I would put Georgia above them. I would put Bama above them.
I'd put Autzen. I'd put Death
1000%.
Valley. Both of them.
Oh, God. Jordan Hare. I'd put, yeah. I mean.
The Big House.
Easily. The Horseshoe.
Yeah, there's so many, no offense, tough to play at College Station. Tough to play at.
One of the hardest places in the country, and I stand by that.
Yeah.
But not the hardest place to play in the country.
No.
No. So I got 30-20 Texas A&M.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our predictions for the week.
Yeah.
I predict
lots of good stuff on the slate.
I think I predicted every favored team except for Clemson, South Carolina. Because I think Clemson's favored.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel
especially
I feel pretty good about that
this
game.
Early in the week, stats for that are not really.
Give me the Heisman race.
The Heisman race. It's actually
Travis
we're
Hunter's
late.
jumped the gun. He's above.
We're late in the season. We're pretty much down. I
still hope Ashton Jeanty wins it though.
I mean, the general thought is we're really down to 2 at this point. Hunter and Genty, and I think that's really been the talk this whole year.
All year.
We know without
Genty's
the
seeking
other
the rushing record.
Without the other, like if
It's
there was no Genty, Hunter would have won. Without Hunter, Genty would have won.
Genty would have won. Like they are standing out by a long shot.
I think
not to lie. I saw it on game day the other morning. I think the other ones are Dylan Gabriel behind them, Cam Ward.
Gabriel's ahead.
Milroe and Rourke. But I think Milroe probably dropped after his 3 interception performance against
yeah, but I mean like Gabriel and Ward, they're great. they're behind. And they're
not good enough to compete with them.
They're not providing the star power to their teams that Genty and Hunter are.
No. Because like out of all of Colorado, you could be like, well, they have Shedeur too. Shedeur doesn't compare to Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Shadeur's good, but he's not playing both sides of the ball.
140 snaps a game. He went for 125 yards and 2 catches last week against
Utah,
Kansas.
Colorado.
Kansas. And
they did not play Kansas last week.
They did.
They did?
Yeah, on Saturday? Yeah.
No,
they lost. I promise you.
Oh, they did lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
and
that's right.
And
looking at the wrong thing.
Then Rock Chalk Jayhawk, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Golly,
okay,
they won
that was
for the first
that's
time.
One of my shoutouts is.
Sorry, I won't steal it from you, but for the first time in college football history, they beat 3 ranked opponents straight.
Dude.
Guess what the record was?
I think they were.
Going
into that game?
2-6 going into the first game. They've won 3 straight, seeking a bowl.
Yeah.
If
They're
they
about to
win
go 500,
week,
bro.
They will win a bowl, and that is what a comeback for the Jayhawks. But not gonna go into that.
Again.
I honestly, at this point in the year, earlier in the year, seeing Ashton Jenny rush for 280 yards a game was amazing.
And he just passed 2,000, right?
I think so. What is Barry Sanders' rushing record?
It's like 26.
26. Oh, he's not getting it.
He's not hitting Barry Sanders.
I wish he would, though. But no, but you can't deny he has been great.
Yeah.
So good. Best back in college football by a long shot. Like, even the backs going into this year that they would have
to. Okay. Just for scale, bro would have to rush for like 390 yards in both games. No, a little less. 362.5 yards would tie him. So if he could get 363 yards a game, not going to happen.
I mean, but with him, I feel like
but they play.
But I don't see it happening.
I think they have 2. Yeah, they play Oregon State. Yeah,
they'll beat them easily.
They'll beat them, but 363 yards.
No.
And then they have their bowl game. Like,
there's a chance.
Come on.
There's a chance.
It's probably not gonna happen. But if he could break a 400 yard game,
they play like San Jose State or something.
I think they already played them.
I'm saying in a bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't see it happening. Anyway, earlier in the year. Oh, but what I was just saying about Genty is earlier in the year, Genty was my guy. I was like, he's winning the Heisman. Mm-hmm. The guys that they thought going into this year that would even compare to Genty as like a running back, Donovan Edwards has not lived up to the hype. Ollie Gordon, been good. His team's 3-8, so they haven't been. He clearly hasn't been good enough. Ashton Jenny has stood out as the best back in college football. Easily. It hasn't even been close. And I always thought he was going to be the guy. But in recent weeks, those Buffaloes have been rolling, and Travis Hunter's been carrying him on his back.
Dude, he has been playing lights out. We already knew he was talented, and now he is carrying them on the
over 100 receiving yards every game. Like a pick in a lot of those performances. And I mean, like we were saying about Caleb Downs, no fly zone.
Oh, yeah.
But Caleb Downs isn't playing both sides of the ball. Travis Hunter looks like he would only, like, when he's on the field, looks like he's only playing defense with how much stamina he has. But he's playing on both sides of the ball every single play of the game. And literally single-handedly carrying a team on his back. People that are like, Colorado will be as good as they were.
Oh, no.
Ridiculous. No. They won't have a quarterback, and they won't have a wide receiver or a cornerback. It's over.
You're losing your Heisman receiver, cornerback. That's one person. You're not going to be the same.
No way. No way. Like, they did sign Julian Lewis.
Yeah.
But, so he is their quarterback of the future. But who's
But
he going to
still,
throw? Who's he going to throw
who's
the
he
ball
gonna
to?
throw to?
I think
Is
LeJohntay
Hornstein?
Wester, who's their second guy, will be gone, by the way, too.
And I think they're losing Horn too. Is he? Unless he might be a sophomore.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Jenny was my guy early in the year. I always said it. I told everybody, I was like, Jenny will win the Heisman.
Yep.
But now, with how good Travis Hunter's been playing,
Yeah, I mean,
to me, it seems like a clear winner.
The way the season has been ending,
Yeah.
it's going to Hunter.
Yes.
Especially,
Yes,
that's the thing, like early on in the season. Yeah, like Genty was definitely hitting the like better.
Jenny has a chance, though. I just
he
thought
does
about
have
that.
a chance.
They're going to be in the playoffs.
Probably.
He will have, if they win multiple games, to try to get that record.
If they win out, then he's got a chance, and he's got to run closer to like 200 yards a game, which his average rushing yards per game this year I think is like 220. So that puts him super close. However,
a chance. Yeah, for sure.
Most of you guys probably know
Boise
this.
State losing round one, so
Yeah.
maybe they pull off an upset.
Most of you guys probably know this.
They played Oregon pretty tight earlier in the year.
Barry Sanders' records were made in an 11-game season, not a 15-game season, which now
It's ridiculous.
Now
But
we're
also,
going to 17 for the longest possible? Be 17 games.
Hold on. Usually, if you win the national championship in recent years, it's 15.
Oh, yeah.
So right now,
But now you have.
It's a 4 weeks.
If you didn't get a
So
bye,
it's a 12-game regular season. If you're in the conference championship, 13. If you play in the conference championship and win, it's a 17-game season.
Yeah, so like you were looking at some record.
That is
seasons.
like an NFL regular season.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually my dad. He's like super traditional. He's like, I like the 4, and I'm like, for me though, I just love football.
I like that I get to watch more football.
I'm excited to see like a good. I'm gonna make my bracket and I'm gonna set everything up.
Bro, it's like March Madness for football now.
Which y'all will see. I'll bring it and show y'all. Maybe put on a big old billboard.
That's literally how we started the year.
But yeah, but you know, I'm loving it. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
But for me, I'm sure you would agree. My clear Heisman right now is Travis Hunter.
Yeah, mine's the same. He's favored by like 600 or something.
Yeah.
Like
just based off like the past like 4 or 5 weeks though.
Yeah.
Like
he's
Jenny was the favorite going into week 6 or 7.
I think so. Yeah.
He's just I mean.
But also like as the season goes on, there's more tape.
Yeah.
There's more stuff to watch. You really learn the offensive packages.
There has never been in the history of college football. There's been guys that have played on both sides of the ball. Champ Bailey did a little bit of that and things, but there's nobody that have played on both sides of the ball to the level that Travis Hunter does.
Yeah, and with the consistency.
Because he's an All-American on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm. And
he's
not getting stopped this year. He wasn't getting stopped last year.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like Genty. Teams are having to shift and fully like go into defending him, and they've made some shifts. They've cut his yardages in games. They've cut his touchdowns in games.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to stop Hunter.
No. And
so that's the other thing.
But Hunter's been able to stop them on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Hunter's given himself more possessions to do more work.
Good gracious!
Like nobody else is doing that.
No one's doing that. Like he is a true one of a kind. I don't think. I mean, probably in our lifetime we'll ever see another person like him.
And actually, I'll save this for hot takes. I have a hot take on Hunter, but
good hot take. All right, is that what if we both predict our Heisman? Is that what we're jumping into now?
Sure, we can do that, or we can do. Let's do hot takes.
Yeah, I got no spicy food this week. Sorry guys, I know we're disappointed.
We're out of our suppliers.
New setting, no Maddox Moore this week.
I have spicy stuff in my fridge, but he said it's too spicy.
Let's not do that. He wanted to put sriracha on a chip, and I said no, thank you. My first hot take is South Carolina beats Clemson. Not a crazy hot take. I feel like the consensus right now is like 50-50.
Yeah,
pretty even.
I think the odds are pretty close on that one.
But at the same, I'm treating it as a hot take because I'm pretty sure Clemson's favored to win, especially because it's in Death Valley.
Game, yeah.
And it's hard to play Clemson, but that's I think South. We've already talked about it enough, but that's my first one. Next one we chose. Vandy shows up against Tennessee.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this one as well, but like. This one's gonna be a tight game. That's our hot take
for sure. Especially Vandy at home, the fans gonna be rowdy. I think they're putting nets up and stuff so they don't nothing happens again. They did that against when Texas came. I mean, we've seen Vandy give Texas a huge challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one went down to the wire.
Dominate.
Beat Bama.
Dominate.
I've been loving it. Vandy's always been
on
the
the
team.
train, man.
Vandy's always been the team that like everybody. It was like everybody's first like dynasty team on college football. Yeah. Everybody's like, you don't want to be Vandy. Why? Like, how about like Vandy? Like Vandy gets a 1-win season. Everybody's like how about Commodores? But
Commodores.
they've had a great year.
Yeah.
Great year, and we both agree that they give Tennessee a good game. And I mean, I predict Tennessee to win, but I can see.
I think it's gonna be good. I'm hoping.
I got
Vandy
YouTube.
gets that
I got
upset,
YouTube
man.
TV. I'm
ready.
have that for the multi-view look.
Yeah, multi-view or like simulcast or whatever it's called.
And my next one, and I know you have one, which we both agreed on this one. Little magic coming here. Syracuse versus Miami. I mean, I don't know about this one. This was all you.
I think this one's flying under the radar. Mario Cristobal took his defensive strategy to Miami, which is offense. Offense wins games. He has no defense.
None. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Did you see Wake Forest? Like,
when are they
first 3 quarters?
Oh my gosh.
Shredded
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Syracuse has a good offense. Kyle McCord, I think he's
when
leading.
they're on, and they score points.
Bro has almost 4,000 pass yards on the year. Like, I'm pretty sure he's the highest passing
probably
this year.
So much.
Yeah.
Syracuse has been like a
tell me when is
team,
Miami gonna stop them? Syracuse is a physical team. I see them pulling out a few defensive stops against Miami. Like, this is gonna be a shootout. Like every single one of Miami's games this year.
Yeah,
and
because Miami's only offense, they don't have defense.
I got a hot take here. As Syracuse coming down and giving it to Miami.
So check where the game's at. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's a Miami home game. Those aren't really.
It's at Syracuse.
Syracuse is.
It's not.
I don't want to say
crazy.
that though.
But
I'm on camera.
Here's,
so don't
here's,
quote me.
Here's,
quote him. Don't quote me.
Here's what I'll say. Yeah, you can quote me.
I can
here's
see
what I'll
going
say.
either way.
It's the middle of the day. It's at 3:30. It's not a night game.
Well, they play in a dome, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But,
well, yeah, but still, just like the atmosphere.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like I'm holding this thing upside down. But like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
night games are different.
Oh yeah.
They're so different.
And Syracuse has played good football this year.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they should be a top 25 team, not based off the record, but based off the amount of talent they have.
Yeah, they're pretty talented.
Good. They had a great transfer class this year.
Yeah.
McCord went in. A ton of guys from Georgia left. They loaded up, and I think Syracuse will be a little scary in the next few years. I just
They're
think
gonna be good.
This year was a little bit of a rebuilding year. I think McCord comes back next year and throws
Can
for
he even
5,000.
come back
Yeah, he's a junior, I think. Maybe redshirt senior. He may have 1 year left.
I think he's a redshirt senior, but yeah, he'll probably stay though. I think that'd be the smart choice.
I think he'll probably have 1 year left. I mean, if he leaves, he won't get drafted.
I don't think we've talked about this on here, but I guess this is kind of a hot take. But there are not that many quarterbacks that should not stay for 4 years.
Yeah,
that's my hot take. Like, take that extra time to develop.
For sure.
Take that.
A lot of the guys that you're seeing that are getting drafted really high quarterback-wise are like 6-year seniors. Like last year, Caleb Williams, I think he was just a senior.
Bo Nix.
Jaden Daniels. They both have been there for years. Cam Ward played like 3 seasons at the FCS level, 2 seasons at Washington State. He's a 6th-year senior.
Yeah. I mean,
Shador is a 5th-year senior.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at these quarterbacks. You look at Nixon, look at Daniels in the NFL. Yeah. They're doing good in college-style offenses, but they're doing good.
They had so much experience
because they have a lot more experience.
They sat. I mean, Bo Nix was a freshman starter.
Yeah,
but Jaden Daniels, I think, did Jaden Daniels start as a freshman at Arizona State?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
anyway,
I feel like he didn't.
Anyway, so many years to develop, so many years to play big games and big conferences, and developing a really, really good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think this was gonna happen with Cam Ward. I think he'll have a great NFL career.
Yeah. And I mean, even you look at Bryce Young. Yeah. Didn't have He was there for only 3 years, right? I think he went
left
went straight in. Yeah. But you look at his development starting to come, sitting behind Dalton, who has a insane amount of, I think he's got like 14 years of experience, something like that. So he's been sitting behind Dalton. And now you see he's starting to develop.
Out of all the older quarterbacks in the NFL, he's the one guy, like one of the big guys you would want to sit behind. He just knows the game so well. He is probably NFL's most reliable backup, maybe other than like Cooper Rush.
This one has not been talked about. I know we're not an NFL podcast, but now we're gonna get into it. But like, this is another one.
We're big college football people.
We're big football people.
I'm a big Panthers fan, but at the same time, I prefer college football.
I do too.
Way more than NFL.
But you know who else been flying under the radar? Another. I think he was 4 years. He might have been a 5th-year senior though. Penix sitting behind Kirko Chains up at the Falcons. Yeah. He like you see these teams drafting these good quarterbacks, these top tier draft.
That's another guy
that's who I'm just talking about.
6 years.
Yeah. Like, but you look at this, they're sitting them behind these quarterbacks because you need to get experience. So that's where that hot take comes from.
That's why. That's
let's get out of the NFL, bro.
I feel like the Falcons always had the plan to draft Penix, and I feel like that's one of the reasons they wanted Kirk to come in, so he could learn and he could develop under a very experienced, very seasoned quarterback that has seen it all.
Yeah, and I mean, you even have, obviously, I don't think this was their season plan, but you even have McCarthy sitting behind Darnold now because of injury. He gets to sit behind there and learn more.
More.
So like,
and Sam Darnold's been,
good. Sam Darnold's been having himself a year.
And I feel like when Darnold's out of there, because he'll probably be traded in the next few years. Or even, I mean, he might even be close to retire. I think he's like 29 probably. But
he's getting up there in the years.
McCarthy will learn a lot more. If you're pushed right into, the fire, like thrown right under center.
Daniel Jones.
It's going to be a lot. And what happened to Daniel Jones, guys?
Danny Dimes.
He got
free agent.
Who's going to pick him up? Not us.
Not the Ravens and not anybody that he wants to get picked up by.
Yeah. He's like, I have a team. I want to get picked up. Like,
shut
up.
Yeah, we know you want to get picked by a playoff contender.
You want to be a backup to Lamar for the rest of your career? I mean, whatever. We just need to take it off NFL.
Yeah. Let's get back to college, bro.
You had one more hot take about Travis Hunter?
Oh, yeah. I really get so caught up. I think this is kind of hot take. I don't think he's going to be able to play both ways in the NFL. We might see it. I
feel like it depends.
That'd be pretty impressive. It's a lot of snaps.
I feel like
in the NFL. That's kind of my thing.
Don't you agree though? I feel like whoever. I think he'll probably tell everybody in his interviews, if you're gonna pick me, you have to let me play on both sides.
Yeah, I think definitely give him a chance. Definitely worth giving him a chance.
I don't.
He's gonna get picked by not a good team because he's gonna be.
He'll be a top 5 pick.
Yes.
For sure. Top 3 probably. I don't think he will play to the level he did in college
but I think
on both sides of the ball. I think
he should be a cornerback. That's my hot take.
Same. I feel like whatever side they put him on, he'll be great at it.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he'll just be exhausted because there's so much. It's so much different. It is so much different.
Especially given what is Colorado in? They're in
Big 12.
They're in the Big 12? Yeah. So
they moved from the Pac-12 last year.
You're playing Big 12, Pac-12 competition to now you're playing the best players from college over the couple years who have been able to play against each other for years now. Like, it is a faster game. It's a more physical game. It's bigger guys. Like, you're playing the best of the best.
It's like you take college and you take the best college players and put them all on the field. And Travis Hunter has seen maybe a game, 2 or 3 people on the field that'll make the NFL, and then the others are just probably. Yeah,
and you also you take Oregon, you take Ohio State, you take any of the best college teams this year. Yeah. Not one of them is going to beat any NFL team.
No.
No.
Some
people don't understand this. Some people think, okay, we had this team go
that have been
unwinning in the NFL, and this team dominated 2019 LSU. Maybe this year, no. I promise it still wouldn't happen.
I would.
There is such a gap.
I feel like it would be LSU would score.
Oh yeah, teams,
but I feel like take last year's Panthers versus 2019 LSU, Panthers winning.
Yeah, which is like
Panthers
kind of
just-
like hard to wrap your head around it, but like
because here's the thing, those guys, there was like a handful of them on LSU, were like picked and put on separate teams, and then people from like a great Alabama team that year were picked, put on teams, and like it is top of the line talent everywhere. Like the Carolina Panthers may look against other talent not that great because they're not the best management, like they're not managed very well, but
they would dominate in college.
17-0, they would win it all.
They would win every year. Like
it would be close.
that's how the NFL works.
Yeah,
compared to college.
I mean, and y'all might be like, no way, but like, definitely.
If you know football, you know we're right.
All right, we're gonna get into our shout-outs.
We got like one more segment. We're being extra long-winded. This might be our longest episode yet, and we don't even have Maddox here. I don't know.
That's crazy. Usually it's way more ADHD. I think he is like 90% of it.
Yeah, but we've been on topic. Yeah. I think it's just like we got a lot of knowledge. We got a lot of ball knowledge.
I have 3. I'm sorry. I know we were supposed to.
That's fine. You're good. You're good. What do you got? I'll let you go first, and I'll toss mine in there.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
And I think we can all understand
This is kind of a shared one between us. I knew you were going to mention it.
Yeah,
but
this is both of us right here.
This is one we both feel.
Kirk Herbstreit on game day was like, if Ole Miss wins out, I can see him winning it all. And I was like, because they're so explosive.
They're so good, but they're so inconsistent.
They're so hit or miss. And a good Florida team. You cannot show up and play like you did in the swamp. I mean, no matter how good or bad the Florida team is, it's going to be a hard place to play.
Yep.
It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. And, like, if Ole Miss shows up how they did, they just can't do it. It can't happen. So, shout out Florida Gators. DJ Lagway, that defense, they were tight.
Lagway.
That's a guy that was thrust right into the starting role as a freshman because
dude, he showed up.
They were giving him shared reps, but Graham Mertz tore his ACL.
He got hurt. Yep.
And so he didn't really have an option. Like
Lagway is him now.
Lagway got put there whether he wanted to or not. And he's making the most of it. Good.
I've seen some funny on-campus interviews about Lagway.
Napier was so close to hitting that goalpost.
Oh my, dude, I know.
I was like,
but did you see the other angle though, where he wasn't really that close?
I mean, within 5 feet.
For having
being like a 50-year-old football coach.
Yeah,
all right, my next one, Oklahoma. I feel like y'all are like, you're giving the most obvious ones. Oklahoma. That's all basically I have to say. Holding Alabama to 3 points,
dude,
is ridiculous. Also, that illegal touching call on Ryan Williams was baloney.
That was so baloney, but
that is, I mean,
dude,
you can't do anything about it.
I can't wait for the next 2 years.
And people are like, we would have won that game if Alabama fans. We would have won that game if that.
No, y'all got shut out pretty much.
No, you wouldn't have. But still, Ryan Williams deserves that touchdown.
Yeah.
And
dude, I can't wait for his next 2 years.
Oh my gosh, he'll be amazing.
He's just
anyway,
natural talent.
Oklahoma's defense, good gracious,
suffocating.
Nothing. They gave Alabama nothing.
Yeah. Man.
Jalen Milroe, we usually rush for 3 touchdowns, throw for 2 a game. He'll usually have 200 yards passing, 100 on the ground. He is great. Going into the game, he was top 5 in the Heisman race, and probably still is. But
I think he's right at 5 right now.
He threw 3 interceptions, and
which Beck has done multiple times this year.
Yes, and he's not on the Heisman watch anymore. But also, I think he was only thrown 2. I don't think he's actually thrown 3 in a game. Beck, I'm saying.
Beck, yeah, he has at least 2 times, maybe 3.
Here goes my phone. Oklahoma was really dominant. Alabama's defense could not stop Jackson Arnold, and Milroe and their offense could get nothing started. And I loved every second of it. My cousin is in town from college from Mercy, Alabama, and he had gotten in that night. Me and my mom went to pick him up. I drove because she don't like driving that night. And picked him up, brought him home, turned the game on, and he was screaming. He was hating it, and I was rubbing it all in his face, but then he rubbed it in my face. I'm a Georgia fan, Alabama, but whatever. And then my third, Ohio State. Not that this is a surprising one. All mine aren't surprising, but that is not that Indiana team has not looked like the Indiana team we've seen all year. Indiana has been like top 5 in scoring all year. They average like 46 points a game.
Something over 40.
Yeah,
they have been
insane.
dominant.
Their offense has been going insane, and their defense has been pretty. They have a hard-nosed defense. They don't let
physical.
anything get past them. Yeah, oh, for sure. With a great Ohio State offense, clearly a great defense. Like we saw it all game long. It was ridiculous how many people got through every single play.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into that. I've already been into that. It was anyway, impressive win by Ohio State. Really impressive.
Yeah.
Really impressive. I was sitting there watching it.
Statement win.
Like, that's huge for them because that was a good Indiana team. Even though nobody expects them to get there, if you watch how they've played all year, they're a good team.
They're a good team.
So that was impressive. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
I'm sure you. So.
And after that, one thing to say: Auburn over A&M, 4 overtimes, 2 points.
That's a good one. I couldn't have done
4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, however long it was.
That was a long game. I remember that. I know that much.
That's what I got to say.
Good Lord.
Shout out to Auburn.
Who picked them to win? Nobody.
Unranked Auburn. 15 ranked A&M, who was ranked higher. They were already like 12 or 11.
Auburn is just trying to get 500. And good A&M team.
They're reaching. That adds to our Auburn-Alabama lore this upcoming week. Dude, okay. The kick 6 was like right at the beginning of my prime.
No, really?
Of being able to watch football, like, and remember it, bro.
I don't remember.
Dude,
I feel like I was a little
watched that play. My brother, I don't even know if he watches the podcast. He was so mad.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, because he's like,
big Alabama.
He's like, yeah, he's picking Alabama. He's like, there's no way they lose now.
That was crazy.
And I'm watching too. I'm like, hey, look, the kick landed in the end zone, and there's a guy standing there. And then I'm like, and then he starts to return it. And we're like, no way. And my brother was so mad.
And then last year.
Oh, my gosh.
And last year. Oh, I was sick to my stomach when they threw that. I was like, Auburn deserved it. They did.
Man.
I wanted them to drop Alabama out of the playoffs so bad.
They barely made it last year.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, if Jordan Travis wasn't hurt, they would have made it.
Glad Florida State didn't, though. Because
I understand people.
63-3 was ugly.
Yeah. I know people will say, like, they got cheated, but look, you're without your, like, top-tier Heisman contender quarterback. Yeah. Your backup is not him.
And majority of your players weren't going to play anyway.
Yeah, I get it. Like,
ridiculous.
You did not get cheated. You're just making a media statement.
Alabama played him. Alabama would have beat him almost as bad as Georgia did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyway.
That about wraps up tonight.
That wraps it up. I don't even know what time it is.
5:30-ish.
That was a good one.
Thanks for watching.
It's good.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
We should have opened with that.
Yeah, we should have. Drop in the description for me. What's your favorite part
in the comments?
Thanksgiving dinner.
I write the description.
Sorry, comments. Drop in the comments. I know Carter Todd will. Big listener. Shout out Carter Todd, #1 fan.
Hey.
Love you, buddy. But great slate this week. We need to enjoy some good food and some good football, and that is my favorite part about life, honestly.
Yeah, give us your favorite tradition,
but,
your favorite food, something you're thankful for. You know all the
drop some of your picks too in the comments for us, and
we'll see you guys next week with Maddox, and you hopefully want to see me.
Yeah,
I'll be behind the screen.
Thank you for listening.
Peace out.
See ya. Boom. That was good. That was really good. We were rolling.